Before we get into today's show, let me tell you about the latest deal from Mike Lindell, MyPillow. Once again, the big box stores have canceled their orders simply because they don't agree with Mike Lindell's politics. They don't like it because he supports President Trump. Well, he's going to pass that savings on to you. No more middleman. And boy, does he have some great deals on the Giza Dream sheets and the Percal bed sheets. Listen to this. Giza Dream queen size, normally $139.98. Your wholesale price, $69.99 when you use promo code Joey. King size, only $79.99. The Percal queen size, normally $89.98. Your wholesale price, $29.98 when you use promo code Joey. Just call 1-800-893-4059 or go to mypillow.com. Always use promo code Joey. Free shipping options available. This allotment's not going to last very long. When they're gone, they're gone. mypillow.com, promo code Joey. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition Studios. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. There's a lot of breaking news from Iran today. UK Chancellor Rachel Reeves has criticized President Trump over the economic fallout from the Iran war, calling it a, quote, folly to proceed without a clear exit plan. The good news, a U.S. official says the U.S. and Iran have all the ingredients of a deal, but have yet to come to a final agreement. And the president himself told Fox News' Maria Bartiromo that there could be some news coming even today. Another woman accused Representative Eric Swalwell of rape yesterday, just hours before the embattled lawmaker resigned from the U.S. House. We have an update on that. Former Vice President Kamala Harris has been in the spotlight again this past week, but it wasn't exactly what she'd hoped for. Once again, she's the center of a joke, and the laugh is all about her. Erica Kirk canceled a planned appearance at the University of Georgia yesterday over what officials are calling serious safety concerns. We have the details in today's show.
I told you we'd be back.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
It's Joey Hudson.
I wanted to name it the Joey Hudson bill, but, they don't allow you to put names on bills. But I wanted to call it the Joey Hudson bill because I know that one's been near and dear to you for a number of years.
That's how it's done. Let your voice be heard.
And the truth shall set you free.
Here's Joey Hudson.
U.S. and Iran have all the ingredients of a deal, but have yet to come to a final agreement, a senior U.S. official is saying. A lot is happening today and tomorrow. We have all the ingredients of a deal, but that's not there quite yet, the official told Fox News. Now, the official added that President Trump's blockade on Iranian ports has Tehran really fearful and more open to making a deal. Now, the president himself told business anchor Maria Bartiromo in an interview that will air later today, Mornings with Maria, he said he thinks it's close to being over and that he had no choice but to enter the war when he did.
I had to divert, because if I didn't do that, right now you would have Iran with a nuclear weapon. And if they had a nuclear weapon, you would be calling everybody over there, sir. And you don't want to do that.
Well, you keep saying was. Is this war over?
I think it's close to over, yeah. I view it as very close to over. You know what? If I pulled up stakes right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild that country. And we're not finished. We'll see what happens. I think they want to make a deal very badly.
Now, the president's comments come as peace talks between U.S. officials and the Iranian negotiators are reportedly expected to restart maybe as soon as tomorrow, following the stalled weekend talks in Pakistan this past week when Vice President J.D. Vance just came home. On Monday, President instituted a naval blockade of all Iranian ports, marking a fresh intensification of the conflict after the U.S. agreed to stop bombing Iran last week. Despite President Trump saying the war is nearing an end, he also said the U.S. is not done. He said, if I pulled up the stakes right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild that country, and we're not finished. We'll see what happens. I think they want to make a deal very badly. Vice President J.D. Vance, senior White House officials, as you know, held negotiations with Iranian officials last weekend in Pakistan. The talks reportedly produced no breakthrough, although the vice president said Monday a lot of progress was made and that Iran holds the deciding hand in what comes next in the conflict. And I think the talks in Pakistan had to happen in order for the Iranian officials to come to terms with, it's time to make a deal. You have no leverage. I think they went into last weekend's meeting with the vice president thinking they had more leverage than they actually do. The Iran war, of course, started February 28th when the U.S. and Israel launched coordinated strikes against Iran, killing the supreme leader Ayatollah, effectively disfiguring the Islamic regime. They have continued to just decimate the country. Now, European officials are making plans for a post-war coalition to safeguard shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, which is just vital for the world, and particularly for that region of the world. It could come without possible U.S. involvement. I doubt that it will, but some of the European officials are posturing as if they don't need us. We all know that's a bluff, right? According to the Wall Street Journal, the proposal focuses on mine clearing and maritime security once hostilities subside, and it aims to free up the shipping and provide confidence in using the strait once again. The French president, Emmanuel Macron, said that the initiative would exclude belligerent parties, specifically the United States, Israel, and Iran, while European diplomats told the outlets that any deployed vessels would not operate under U.S. command. And you know what? I'm good with that. If they can keep the strait safe and keep the flow going, honestly, I don't care if we're involved or not. Do you? Again, the French president is puffing his chest out, more of a statement to President Trump than anything else. According to some of the plans, it's expected to include several European nations, potentially including Germany. And again, the U.S. will not be attending the initial meetings. But what do you want to bet? And I don't typically bet, but what do you want to bet that they'll come begging us for money? They don't want us in the meeting. They don't want, and again, the French president used the word belligerent. And you know who he's talking about. But boy, when it comes time to write some checks, I'll bet you they're going to have their hand out. You agree? Text me, email me, joe@joeyhudson.com. Leave me a message on the MyPillow message line, 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. I love the messages that you leave. Keep them coming. And by the way, always use promo code Joey when you go to MyPillow.com. Mike Lindell has some great springtime offers. The MyPillow is regularly $49.98, now only $17.98 when you use promo code Joey. The mattress toppers, and you're going to love the mattress topper. If you've been thinking about buying a new bed, don't buy a new bed. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-893-4059. You can save up to $100 when you use promo code Joey on the MyPillow mattress topper. It will feel like a brand new bed. And the good news is you can do it at no risk. Mike Lindell warranties everything. Money back guarantee if you're not happy with it. Order now and your entire order ships absolutely free. He's got some other good deals, too, when you use promo code Joey. Get a set of MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets for as low as $29.98 or the six-pack towel for as low as $29.98. And, boy, he's got some great deals coming up on the My Slippers, and I'll be telling you about that very soon. MyPillow.com, use promo code Joey. But, again, keep those comments coming on the MyPillow message line. I love those. Now, U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, said yesterday that American forces are enforcing the naval blockade on Iranian ports, marking an increase in U.S. military activity in the region. Again, if the Europeans want to take it over, let them have it. CENTCOM said in a post shared on X, an F-35B stealth fighter jet is prepared for flight aboard the USS Tripoli as the amphibious assault ship sails into the Arabian Sea. Tripoli and its 3,500 sailors and embarked Marines are executing the mission to blockade ships entering and departing Iranian ports. The blockade is being enforced impartially against vessels of all nations, CENTCOM added. The U.S. Navy currently has about 18 ships in the Middle East, according to ship tracking data and Navy sources. The blockade operation began on April 13th. Meanwhile, 17 countries called for Lebanon to be included in broader regional de-escalation efforts, according to a joint statement issued by a group of foreign ministers. The statement was released by foreign ministers of Australia, Belgium, Cyprus, Croatia, Denmark, Finland, France, Greece, Iceland, Luxembourg, Malta, Norway, Portugal, Slovenia, Spain, a whole group of them. Let me just say that. Long list. United Kingdom. The nation's ministers emphasized the need to incorporate Lebanon into ongoing diplomatic efforts and urged all parties to pursue a sustainable political resolution. In the statement, they said the continuation of the war in Lebanon puts at risk the current regional de-escalation, which we have welcomed and must be fully respected by all parties. Now, you probably remember, understand, Israel has been attacking, has been bombing, taking out some of the infrastructure of Lebanon because Lebanon is one of the proxies of Iran, and they're right next door. I mean, you can go up. I've been there before. I've been on top of a hill where there's nothing but a barbed wire looking into Lebanon from Israel. Now, UK Chancellor Rachel Reeves was critical of President Trump over the economic fallout of the war, calling it a, quote, folly to proceed without a clear exit plan. Speaking to the Mirror ahead of a trip to D.C., for the IMF and the World Bank spring meetings, Ms. Reeves said she was angry about the conflict. She said, "This is a war that we did not start. It was a war that we did not want. I feel very frustrated and angry that the U.S. went into this war without a clear exit plan, without a clear idea of what they were trying to achieve. And as a result, the Strait of Hormuz is now blocked," the chancellor said. We're hosting a conference this week with President Macron of France on how to secure passage through the Strait of Hormuz. And again, she will be the first to ask for money. She won't mind our money. When the UK gets into a tight squeeze, they like our checks. Don't you just love it with all these European leaders posturing, playing like the big dog in Europe? Oh, we're not, those mean old Americans, they're always starting trouble. They're getting us into wars. They're causing us issues. Well, look, step up and do your part, and none of us would be in this situation. It's just that simple, right? You don't have a weight problem. You have a body that's in survival mode, and no medication, crash diet, or app is going to fix that. Joey Hudson here, Ozempic, Wegovy. These GLP-1 drugs are exploding in popularity, and for some, they're a useful tool, but they don't address why your body started storing fat in the first place. At PhD Weight Loss, they treat the unwanted weight as a symptom, a signal that your metabolism, hormones, and stress response need some attention. When they correct those, the weight comes off naturally, and more importantly, it stays off. Because they're not just helping you lose weight, they're helping you increase health span and extend longevity. Right now, call PhD Weight Loss and mention Joey Hudson. You'll get 2 weeks free in the program, and they'll pay for your food. That's a $1,500 value, completely free. Call 864-644-1900. Do it right now. Mention Joey Hudson. Again, that's 864-644-1900, or go to myphdweightloss.com. No more guessing, no more short-term fixes, just a smarter way forward. Former Vice President Kamala Harris took aim at President Trump recently. It's a bit unusual. She's kind of slowly putting her toe back into the water as she is now starting to talk about running for the 2028 Democrat nomination. And I hope she does. I hope she jumps right in, because it would be a lot of fun to watch her try to get the nomination. And you know what? I'm not sure that she can successfully do that. I'm not so sure that the Democrat Party has not had enough of Kamala Harris. But typical Kamala, sticking her foot in her own mouth as she tries to be funny, and the last laugh was on her. Social media lighting up with reactions that could have real political consequences for her. So here's a story. During a recent appearance, Vice President Harris delivered remarks attacking former President Donald Trump, but in the process, critics say she adopted what many are calling a, quote, mob boss style accent. You know how she tries to, depending on the group she's talking to, she changes her accent. She's talking to a group of white people, she talks more normal. If she's in a group with black people, she sort of has that hood slang. Well, in this case, they're calling it the mob boss accent. That moment quickly made its way online, and within hours, it was everywhere. Here's the former vice president.
The way that he's thinking of foreign policy, it seems, is when he talks about America first, it's to withdraw from these relationships and these connections. And then he kind of acts like a mob boss. So then he's kind of like, well, you know, you take Eastern Europe, and I'll take the Western Hemisphere. And then you over there, you get Asia. And we'll just divide it up. Right?
Now, ain't she funny? Supporters just kind of brushed it off as political theater. Critics, they weren't nearly as forgiving. According to reporting, Harris was attempting to emphasize her criticism of Donald Trump, but the delivery became the story, as it should have been. Clips circulated widely with commentators saying the tone sounded exaggerated, that it sounded forced, out of place. Some described it as awkward. Others went further, calling it inappropriate or even offensive. I don't know who they think it offended. Probably offended a lot of people. It certainly wasn't offensive to President Trump. It's probably offensive to some of her black folk, the way she was acting. And as we've seen time and time again, once something like this hits social media, you can't pull it back. It's gone. The cow's out of the barn, as we say. The reaction was immediate. Post, commentary, reaction videos, all piling on, dissecting not just the message, but the style. And look, in today's political environment, style can matter just as much as the substance. If you want to see the whole story, I posted it on my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, search for Joey Hudson, Just the Truth, and you'll see it. It's the featured video right now. While you're there, be sure and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build an audience on YouTube. You can help me. I need for you to be there. And be sure and comment and like as well, because when YouTube sees the comments and the likes and the new subscribers, it kind of boosts the audience on up for me. So go to YouTube, watch the whole story. But let's just zoom out for a moment, because this kind of comes at a time when both when the campaigns out there are starting to sharpen their message, looking towards 2028. Now, I realize we haven't even gotten through the midterms yet. We got some very important elections in November. But Kamala Harris knows that she's got to get started now if she is going to be in the race, because I got a feeling it's going to be a very crowded race for the Democrats in 2028. I mean, look, President Trump has built his political brand on authenticity. He is what he is. We all know what he is, whether you agree with him or not. Supporters believe that he says what he thinks. We know that. For Ms. Harris, the challenge has often been connecting with voters in a way that feels natural, feels relatable. Moments like this, they either help or they hurt. And in this case, I think it hurt, because voters today are incredibly tuned in to anything that feels scripted. And you could tell she was trying very hard. It came across as inauthentic. And in the age of viral clips, even a few seconds can shape perception in a big way, and it certainly did with this. So let me ask you something. When you heard that, or if you saw the clip, or if you go to my YouTube channel and see the clip, I'll be interested in what you think. Did it come across as effective political messaging, or did it feel forced? Were you embarrassed for her, as I was? Drop your thoughts in a comment, either text, email me, joey@joeyhudson.com, leave me a message on the MyPillow message line, 864-477-JOEY. I'd love to get your feedback on this, because here's why this matters. Campaigns are no longer just about policy necessary, although they should be. But in this viral video moment, they can certainly be about other things. And the most powerful moments, they're often the unscripted ones, or the ones that feel that way at the time. If voters sense that something is staged, exaggerated, artificial, it can create that disconnect that Kamala Harris suffered in 2024. Now, to be fair, politicians have always used tone, emphasis, even performance to make a point. That's nothing new. But what is new is the speed and scale of the reaction, and that can take on a life of its own instantly. What might have once been a passing moment in a speech that the candidate wished would go away would be forgotten can be a viral clip seen by millions and millions, and that's what we're seeing with this. Once people form an impression, right or wrong, it's going to stick with you. We all have our impressions of Kamala Harris, don't we? She's the word salad queen, and she hasn't gotten any better. She hasn't learned from her word salads from 2024. For President Trump, he doesn't care because his name will never be on the ballot with Kamala Harris again anyway. But he wants a Republican to succeed him. He wants the Republican Party to keep the Oval Office. I don't know if it's J.D. Vance is his choice or who. But whoever that is will most likely or could be facing Kamala Harris. Again, I'm not convinced that the Democrats will nominate her again. It was handed to her this last time. Will it be handed to her again? We're going to see, and we're going to watch it every step of the way. And this is going to be a lot of fun. Well, as official yesterday, Representative Eric Swalwell, the Democrat from California, formally resigned his House seat amid a wave of sexual misconduct allegations that spurred calls to step aside or face expulsion. Representative Anna Paulina Luna wrote on X, I have just been notified that Eric Swalwell has officially submitted his resignation to the House clerk effective immediately. The House clerk read the letter on the floor Tuesday afternoon. The announcement came after Swalwell said Monday that he planned to resign but did not lay out a clear timeline. Fox News' Bill Malugin has the story.
Embattled California Congressman Eric Swalwell officially submitting his resignation from Congress as he faces mounting allegations of sexual misconduct.
He raped me, and he choked me.
Former model Lana Drews becoming Swalwell's fifth accuser, alleging in a press conference that he drugged and sexually assaulted her in a West Hollywood hotel in 2018. Arizona Senator Ruben Gallego, one of Swalwell's closest friends, told reporters that Swalwell had everyone fooled.
I was manipulated, I was lied to, and everyone else was too.
Republican Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez notified the House he will also resign from Congress amidst his own sexual misconduct allegations.
Mr. Swalwell's resignation appeared to thwart a potential expulsion threat from Representative Luna, who had vowed to force a vote on a measure to forcibly remove him if he did not voluntarily exit Congress, which he did. 5 women, including one former staffer, have accused Swalwell of sexual misconduct or rape. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office has opened a criminal investigation into one incident that allegedly occurred in a New York City hotel room. FBI Director Kash Patel has also invited Swalwell to have a conversation with the Bureau about the allegations. This thing grew very quickly, literally overnight. Eric Swalwell had no idea what was about to hit him. Mr. Swalwell has denied any criminal wrongdoing. He's promised to fight the, quote, false accusations against him. He suspended his what was a surging gubernatorial campaign over the weekend, probably thinking he could hold on to his House seat. That didn't happen. Think about that. Last Friday, he was the leading contender to be the next governor of California. Today, not only is he not going to be governor of California, he just had to resign his House seat. That's how quickly these things can go. And you got these women now literally coming out of the woodwork. Another woman accused Swalwell of rape yesterday, literally just a few hours before he resigned his seat. Lana Drews is her name. While describing an incident that she alleged took place in Swalwell's hotel room in 2018, she said, he raped me, he choked me, and while he was choking me, I lost consciousness and I thought I died. But he's not guilty, he said. He doesn't remember it that way. She went on to say it had a profound impact on my mental health. I self-medicated it into an unhealthy way. I did not want to live anymore. Wow. Drews said that she was working as a model and software engineer in Beverly Hills when she met Mr. Swalwell. He offered business and political connections. When meeting him for the third time under the guise of going to a political event, Drews alleged that Swalwell drugged her drink and proceeded to rape her in his hotel room. The woman said that she had had just one glass of wine and could not consent. Now, Drew said, too, that she recorded the incident in a handwritten calendar and disclosed the alleged rape to multiple people. She said she waited to come forward, citing her fear of retribution. And look, I get it. It's easy to sit back and say, well, why are you just now coming forward when you're making accusations against a very powerful man, against a man, again, as of last Friday, people thought he was going to be the next governor of California. Ms. Drew said, my delay in taking action against Eric was driven by fear, not doubt. Fear of his political power, his background as an attorney, and his family. And we hear this type of story very often with women who are victims like this. She came forward after 4 other women alleged that Swalwell committed sexual misconduct and rape, including at least one incident involving a former staffer, as reported by CNN and the San Francisco Chronicle last week, that got the ball rolling. The announcement came during a news conference in Beverly Hills, organized by the woman's attorney, Lisa Bloom. Drew's attorney said that they would be submitting a report to law enforcement. Bloom offered sharp criticism of Mr. Swalwell, who, again, has denied any wrongdoing but acknowledged a lack in judgment. He also has vowed, again, to fight the allegations. Bloom said to Swalwell, she had a message for him. Your recent statement that you are just not perfect, that you are not a saint, is just blather and spin. Stop it. Your statement that this is all just a matter between you and your wife is laughable, if not for the fact that it is a slap in the face to the victims. On your behavior, Bloom said. She said that she had 3 other women with allegations against Swalwell privately reach out to her since the news conference was announced. So who knew about this? Again, I told you yesterday how since this has come forward, you've got Democrats and Republicans alike who are saying they never quite trusted Eric Swalwell, that they had heard rumors, that they suspected him of this type of behavior. Maybe not rape, but that he sexually harassed women who were on his staff and who he came in contact with. Now, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi denied having any knowledge of sexual misconduct and rape accusations against Swalwell. When asked by journalist Frank Sesno whether she knew about the allegations before bombshell stories came out because of CNN and the San Francisco Chronicle, she replied, I had none whatsoever. So she didn't see anything. She didn't hear anything. See no evil, speak no evil. Pelosi, of course, is a longtime ally of Mr. Swalwell, who pushed for his ascension up party ranks. She has been a mentor, you might say. But she's distancing herself from her fellow Bay Democrat now. She admitted Swalwell's resignation announcement was a smart decision and the right thing to do, she said. But again, all these people who are saying that they suspected him, that they kind of knew this type of thing had been going on, shame on them for not coming forward before now. Shame on them for not stepping up and protecting some of these victims. But look, it's not just Eric Swalwell who is in trouble. Since the talk of him resigning his House seat, you've got other U.S. House members who appear to be going on the same path. What is happening in the U.S. House of Representatives? Again, Bill Malugin has the story.
Republican Florida Congressman Corey Mills is being investigated by the House Ethics Committee for allegations of sexual and financial misconduct, leading to some Democrats calling for his expulsion. But there are also growing calls from Republicans for Florida Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Sherfilis McCormick to be expelled from Congress after a House Ethics Committee investigation already found she violated House rules, and she's been charged federally for allegedly stealing millions of dollars in FEMA money.
I mean, can you believe this? I mean, we all talk about sometimes how politics can bring out the worst in people. And it's very popular in a campaign to talk about, throwing the crooks out. But really, it's like there's been a wave of members of the U.S. House who are being accused of either cheating people out of money or, like in Swalwell's case, sexually assaulting, raping people. I mean, these are the leaders of our country. These are the people who are spending our money. And do you think that they just believe that they can do these types of things and get away with it? Or do you think that they believe nobody will ever question them? I kind of believe that's the case with Eric Swalwell. I mean, even now he's denying it. He's the type of guy, and I never met him, but I've just seen him. I've heard his responses. I've followed him over the years, but he's been very critical, as you know, of President Trump. But he just seems like the type of person that thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, and that it would that women should feel like it's a privilege if he pays them some attention. And he's a very powerful man, or was a very powerful man. And so you get a young staffer or a female who's maybe working for a lobbyist or something. You know, they're just they're kind of it's awe inspiring to be around a man with that type of power, and he takes advantage of them. People like him need to go to jail. Eric Swalwell just resigning from the House and canceling his gubernatorial campaign, that's not enough. He needs to go to jail. You agree? Text me, email me, joey@joeyhudson.com. Your comments are welcome on the Furman Ford text line, 864-477-JOEY. That's 864-477-5639. Email's always welcome, joey@joeyhudson.com. Speaking of the Furman Ford text line, you know, it's never been more important to support locally run businesses owned by people who actually live here in the upstate. Let me take a minute to talk with you about our friends at Furman Ford. If you're looking for a new vehicle, maybe a great pre-owned vehicle, one you can trust, or maybe you're looking to order that special vehicle. Either way, if you want a new one, a brand new one, or a pre-owned that you can trust, the folks at Furman Ford, they're there to help you. Their name is on the sign because their name is on the line, because every single transaction is important to them. Jim Furman, Matthew Furman. They do business the right way. When you stop by, when you give them a call, or maybe when you just send them a quick email, you're always going to have access to a member of the Furman Ford family. And by the way, they also offer great service, and you're not going to have to wait weeks and weeks to get it done. And you do not have had to purchase your vehicle at Furman Ford. Doesn't even have to be a Ford. They service all makes and models. Visit my friends at Furman Ford online at furmanford.com, furmanford.com. Continuing today's show, just down the road in Athens, Georgia, yesterday, it was supposed to be an enthusiastic rally for TPUSA, with all the usual fanfare, including an appearance by Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, who is now CEO of Turning Point USA. Students have been anticipating the event for weeks, but it did not happen. Why? Erica Kirk canceled her planned appearance at the University of Georgia after receiving what organizers described as, quote, very serious threats. Turning Point USA spokesman Andrew Colvett said that Ms. Kirk received some very serious threats in her direction, prompting her absence from the event in Athens, Georgia. Erica Kirk addressed her absence in a post on X, citing security concerns following threats that she had received ahead of the event. She wrote, "I was so looking forward to the event at the University of Georgia with our Vice President, J.D. Vance, but after all our family has been through, I take my security team's recommendations extremely seriously." She said, "Thank you to our amazing Georgia chapter for your support. God bless you all." Now, Vice President J.D. Vance said he had been concerned the event might be canceled and spoke with the Secret Service, adding he told Kirk to do what she needs to do for her and her family. Officials have not released additional details about the threats. The Trump administration has shown a lot of support for Erica following the assassination of Charlie during, of course, a debate event at Utah Valley University last September. Now, you'd have to think about this and understand what she probably goes through every time she goes to one of these events, and thinking about her young children, and that their dad was taken from them at an event like this, and she's out there putting herself at risk possibly leaving these kids without parents. It would have to be terrifying for her to go out on stage anywhere. And look, she has better security than probably Charlie ever had. Now, Charlie had a good security team. I know there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of criticism on what they could have done and all, but that was just the perfect storm. And I know the speculation that the young man who's being charged with it in custody is not the shooter. I'm not buying any of those conspiracy theories. It was a sad day. But it was a day, when you look back on it, it was a day that you see that it was pretty easy for that young man to get that shot off, because Charlie had no fear. Charlie wanted to keep his voice out there, and he believed in freedom of speech, and he believed that he could be at an event like this. And look, again, they had a lot of security. I was at events many times with TPUSA, with Charlie Kirk. He was a Salem Media host. Salem Media, a company that I've worked for over the years. Syndicator of the Mike Gallagher Show. And we had been at TPUSA events, and there was always a lot of security. And they thought they had it covered. They just didn't have it covered at Utah Valley. And kudos to Erica that she acknowledges that she has to put her security first. And again, I'm thankful that the Trump administration has been so supportive of the Kirk family. You'll recall that after Charlie's assassination, his casket was flown from Utah to his home state of Arizona aboard Air Force Two with Vice President J.D. Vance accompanying the transfer. I mean, not many people, not many families have had that type of recognition, that type of support. The second lady, Usha Vance, was later seen holding Erica Kirk's hand as they departed the aircraft. Several Trump administration officials, including President Trump and Vance, attended Charlie Kirk's memorial service on September 21st last fall, less than 2 weeks after he was killed. It filled up a football stadium. During remarks at the service, you may recall that President Trump honored Charlie Kirk's legacy, describing him as a martyr for American freedom. The president later posthumously awarded Charlie Kirk the Medal of Freedom on what would have been his 32nd birthday. Erica Kirk accepted the medal on behalf of her late husband. The work goes on. Charlie Kirk continues to have huge influence on school campuses around the country. Just last week, several South Carolina GOP officials said that all high schools should have a student chapter of Turning Point USA founded by Charlie Kirk. South Carolina is not doing anything to acquire or incentivize chapters of Turning Point USA, according to state officials. But as encouragement, Governor Henry McMaster, Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evatt, Superintendent of Education Ellen Weaver, all praised the nonprofit. The governor designated last Friday as Turning Point USA Day. During the news conference at the State House, Lieutenant Governor Evatt said, "I want people across South Carolina to know the governor and I stand behind these clubs, making sure that our young people have a forum to talk about what's important to critically think." South Carolina right now has about 80 chapters already, we're told, with about 20 students standing behind the lieutenant governor, the governor, and the superintendent of education. Those include public and private schools, as well as groups of homeschool students. It's a great organization, and we need to encourage it. And I'm so proud that our state leaders recognize that. Seeing state leaders promote the club can encourage students who maybe are afraid of facing backlash from their peers or the school district to start their own groups, said Andrew Cipher, a Phoenix-based field officer for Turning Point USA. He couldn't name any specific instances of South Carolina districts discouraging students from it, but he said sometimes students just need to be able to see how their state leaders are acting. And we all have to let students know that they are 100% supportive. I'd love to see a TPUSA chapter in every high school in South Carolina. Ms. Weaver, Ellen Weaver, the superintendent of education, pointed to Turning Point USA as promoting students' encouragement in politics having varied groups on campus is one way of ensuring students learn full, fair, and honest history, she said. And she's right. A Democrat who hopes to defeat Ms. Weaver in November criticized the encouragement. Ahead of the news conference, Sylvia Wright's campaign sent out an email saying the candidate sounds the alarm over Weaver's support for Turning Point USA. Now, what could you possibly not like about Turning Point USA? Leave it to the Democrats to come up with opposition to Turning Point USA. Here's what Ms. Wright said in her statement. I believe that endorsing a program tied to a politically active organization risks introducing partisan influence into classrooms, potentially undermining the neutrality that public education strives to maintain. She went on to say we should be empowering students to think for themselves, not indoctrinating them to messaging that could be perceived as partisan or one-sided. But I guess it's okay. I bet she supports having LGBTQ type organizations in states, in schools, in the state. I bet she's not concerned about that type of indoctrination. You think? That's it for today's edition of Just the Truth. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition Studio. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. If you haven't joined our mailing list yet, visit my website, joeyhudson.com. Just click on the Connect with Joey button so that you can receive our emails and the most up-to-date news. Also, find me on YouTube. Be sure and like, subscribe. Follow me on my YouTube channel. Just search for Joey Hudson. Appreciate you spending a few minutes of your day with me. Be sure and forward this edition of Just the Truth to some friends. Just click on the share button. Send it to a few of your contacts, because if we're going to build our community and if we're going to win in November, we got to build an army of conservatives. The way we beat Joe Biden is through educating people, and no better way than encouraging them to listen to Just the Truth. Hey, keep those comments coming via the Furman Ford text line, 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Your emails always welcome as well. Joey@joeyhudson.com. Don't forget to take advantage of the MyPillow special, $25 for the My Towels 6-piece towel set when you use promo code Joey. Just go to mypillow.com.